Well, you've had the opportunity this year to hunt with D&D.
I always wanted to bear hunt my whole life. And the experience that I had with the professional way you guys carried yourself and everything up there was unbelievable. The countryside was unbelievable. It was just being out there with nobody, no cars, no nothing.
I think the most enjoyable thing for me is to watch a hunter get his first bear. And if I could relive that experience that I had with you that night, I mean, and I'll let you explain from when we dropped you off, we walked you in, we baited, and then we left.
I got up on the tripod, got all camoed out, sat there.
You've been sitting there now for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, 3 days.
And this was your fourth night, and you stuck it out.
He kept telling me there's a good bear in here.
Yeah.
There's something there, you just gotta have patience. 7 o'clock, I heard a rustling behind, which I thought might have been a moose or something else. As I turned my head and looked, all I saw was its head sticking out of the bushes. Now, he's only 4 feet away from the stand. That was like the moment of my life. And then he disappeared quick. I'm looking at my clock and I got about 3 or 4 more minutes of shooting light left here. I didn't want to get out of the stand because it was getting dark and I didn't know where that bear went. Picked up the gun at the last moment, looked at what the bait was, and that's about a 90-yard shot. His head came up over the embankment and all I saw was the white crest on him. That was the perfect target for me. And I shot once. About a couple minutes later, about 10 minutes later, Don showed up and asked me what's going on. I told him. We went out, looked at the bait. Couldn't find no blood at first. It was maybe 10, 15 yards, and then all of a sudden Don went, I got blood. And we went in, started tracking. Don was in the lead with the lights, looking around, tagging the blood spots that we had here and there. We went about 15, 20 yards in the thickness out there, and all of a sudden this ungodly noise came at me. I was not expecting it. I've never heard a death moan before. That was just, it scared the bejeebies right out of me. I can't say what I said to Don, but it was horrific. I stood right behind him, put my hand on his back, and we waited a little bit, then we went forward a little bit. He did it again, and I kind of like, oh God. My heart was just like thumping. I was just like, oh, I was out there. And then Don went a little bit more forward over him, then he goes, you shot a big bear. And I thought he was joking with me until we got closer to it, moved the bushes around, and he was there, and it was the happiest moment of my life. Like I said, I always wanted to do a bear hunt. And I can't thank you and Jason enough for what you did for me.